Hello everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again tonight for a new video. Tonight's video is going to be something that I really haven't done on the channel in a very long time. It's been a long time since I made a music-related video. Those of you who have only been watching my channel for the last year or so may not realize this, but back when I started doing YouTube videos, I focused just as much, if not more, on music as I do on movies. And really in the past year, I've been, gravitating more towards collecting movies, Blu-ray, 4K, etc. And I've focused a lot less on collecting vinyl and CD. However, I still do occasionally pick up records, whether they be on vinyl or CD. And I just haven't felt the urge, I guess, to make a video related to music. But today I'm bringing you a vinyl update, where I'm going to show you 3 really cool editions of records that I have picked up in the past month or so. One of them may be dating back a little bit earlier than that, actually. But 2 of them have come out in the past month. They are some, like I said, really cool editions of records, some colored vinyl, some really unique kind of box sets. So I'm excited to show you guys these. Some of them may be still available, I'm not 100% sure. If you do happen to be interested in them, definitely look. I know one of them definitely isn't available anymore, but there may be a couple that are. So like I said, I used to collect vinyl a lot, and I couldn't tell you the last time I spun a record. That's very sad, because back in the day I was really into records, but I just don't listen to them as much on physical copy. I still listen to music, I still love music, and however, my music consumption has switched a lot to streaming, unfortunately. I want to get back into records and back into showing you some of my records. I have a new, relatively new vinyl shelf that I put together this year, and when I do my movie room tour, I'll go ahead and show you guys that. But my goal is to have all of my collection cataloged into Discogs, so that way I can maybe do a video where I sit down and I go through each and every record that I have. I have around 200 records or so, a little less than that, but around that ballpark. Alright, I'm going to kind of stop rambling and I'm going to start showing you these records. So, this first one here, this is the new record from Jack White. This is Fear of the Dawn, and this is the Vault exclusive from Third Man Records. So Third Man Records has a vinyl subscription service called the Vault, and I am still subscribed to the Vault. I still get the packages. I just haven't made a video in such a long time about it, but Jack White is one of my favorite artists. I love the White Stripes, the Raconteurs, Dead Weather, and of course his solo stuff. And this particular edition, it's a special screen printed cover, and it also has a special color variant on the record. This, I'm not sure if it's still available, but of course you have to be a member of the Vault in order to order this. So I do recommend the Vault if you are into like Jack White's stuff, if you're into the White Stripes. There's a lot of re-releases that he does of rare recordings as well as live recordings and that kind of thing. So it is a pretty cool subscription service. Here's what the back of it looks like. Now in terms of this record, it took me a little bit to get into. It's very different, even for Jack White. Jack White's known for a lot of experimentation with sound, but this one is even more so. It's his strangest record to date, but now that I've listened to it a few times, I really do enjoy it. So let me show you what the inside of this package looks like here. You have your record, of course, but then you have tons of extras as well. So we have, I'll go through the extras first, and then I'll show you the record. So you get this cool little picture portrait of Jack White with some lyrics on the back. And then you have more lyrics, another cool picture, and on the back of that, even more lyrics. This is really cool. They kind of took the lyric sheet and broke it up into several different portions. And then you have this really cool picture here. I really like that. That is awesome. And then more lyrics on the back. So, yeah, pretty cool. I've never seen a release like that where they just kind of broke up the lyric sheet. Makes it kind of cool. There's some stuff there that I wouldn't mind framing and putting on the wall. And then, of course, we have the record itself, which I believe they call this a midnight blue swirl vinyl, which is pretty cool. And you can see it through the light. There's some cool swirl action going on. So that's the new Jack White record. He's coming out with another one, which I believe I also pre-ordered, the Vol exclusive version of that. So the next one's going to be, from what I hear, more acoustic ballads, whereas this one was his kind of heavier rock sound. Next up, so these two records actually came out on the same day. It was April 8th, 2022, which was a loaded day for music releases, at least in terms of artists that I enjoy. There were 3 or 4 different artists who released albums that I really enjoy on that particular date. This one is a box set version, a limited edition of this release. I think this is still available if you want to order it, but I would definitely jump on that as quickly as possible if you're interested. This is Chloe and the Next 20th Century by Father John Misty. I really like Father John Misty. He makes some unique music, feels kind of inspired by some Elton John stuff and some kind of bluesy, jazzy stuff, especially with this album. It feels very inspired by jazz, mixed with his own kind of dystopian storytelling, which I really like. He perfected this sound, I think, on his 2017 album, which is called Pure Comedy. I absolutely adore that album. It's one of my favorite albums of the past 10 years. This one is different, again, for him. It's much slower than a lot of his music. A lot of his music has this kind of anthemic sound, this sing-along sound. This is very introspective, jazz-infused. Definitely reminds you of the sounds of the 20th century, but it's another one that you have to listen to a couple times, I think, to really get into, and I do really like it at this point. So this is the special box set edition. There's the picture on the back of the box set, and then I will show you what comes in this. Try not to break stuff. So it comes with this little protective sheet, and I've gone ahead and put the hype sticker on that little sheet. And then it comes with a poster with some artwork. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit the poster in the frame here. I definitely won't be able to, but I'll try to give you an idea of what it looks like. Okay, there's your poster. Hopefully you were able to see that to a decent extent. Again, another thing that I wouldn't mind framing and putting up on the wall. And then the record itself comes in this hardbound book. So that is the standard album cover. And then you have that on the back. And you have some really cool artwork in here. You have the first record here. I believe there's 2 records with this. Maybe it's just, yeah, there's 2 records. 2 full-length records. Oh, that is not good. Just a second, guys. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Alright, we're back. So, thankfully, dodged a bullet. Everything seems to be okay. But let that be an example of being super careful. You need to be super careful with your records. I was not listening to my own advice there. Okay, so I'm showing you the book here where the records are housed. And let's see. I'll try to show you like a couple pages. It's kind of hard to do that with this, but anyway. At the beginning, there's this kind of cool transparent page in the book. And then, like, here's an example of the type of art that you get with this. Some cool black and white photos. There's Father John Misty there. More photos here. There's a bit of a glare there, but you can kind of see. Pretty cool. So I really like the art direction that they went with this. particular release. Very simplistic, kind of like the sound of the record. So it follows through with that pretty cool, in a pretty cool way. There's another transparent page on the back that has all the lyrics, and then I'll show you one of the records because they both look the same. I'm not sure, I think one of these is either live or B-sides. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look. Again, being super careful when I lay this down. Alright, so there you have the record. It's a really cool red transparent record there. So that's what it looks like. Real quick, let me go through my favorite tracks on this record. I forgot to do that with the Jack White one. But my favorite tracks really quickly on the Jack White record are Taking Me Back, which is the lead single, very good rock heavy song, and then kind of a strange song that he put out with Q-Tip, actually. Sorry, everything's going wrong with me here. I haven't made a vinyl video in so long that I'm messing everything up. So another quick track that I wanted to highlight from Jack White is Heidi Ho, which was a track that he did with Q-Tip, which I thought was interesting and very unique for him, definitely. As for the Father John Misty record, let's see, I'm trying to go through my absolute favorites. Q4 is one of the only songs on this record that has that kind of anthemic sing-along sound that I was talking about with his former records. All the other ones are pretty kind of subdued compared to the rest of his work, but still really good. Buddy's Rendezvous is a really good song. Funny Girl, which was the lead single off of this particular one. Only a Fool is such a really, really good song. And the ending track, The Next 20th Century, is this kind of sprawling, epic song where he tells a really, really interesting story with this record. And the last two songs in particular on the album, there's the track list. We Could Be Strangers and then The Next 20th Century. Both are really good storytelling songs from him. Alright, last record that I want to show you, another mammoth of a box set. Pretty sure this is no longer available. You'd have to get it off of the secondhand seller, but this is Kid Amnesiac from Radiohead. So this is the re-release that they did, I think they announced it last year but didn't ship out until this year, of Kid A remastered version of Kid A, and then a remastered version of Amnesiac. So two really great albums. If you know the history of Radiohead, these albums kind of, they're a part of the same recording sessions. So they're two separate albums, but they were released within 1 year of each other, and they have very similar vibes to them, although they are definitely different records. I love Radiohead. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. They are a band that it took me a little while to get into, simply because of their sound, and especially these two albums. It took me a long time to get into. I fell in love with OK Computer and In Rainbows, but Kid A was always the tough one for me because it's so slow and it's so different. There is hardly any analog instruments played on this record. Like, you could probably count on one hand how many times they use analog instruments. Everything was about experimentation, especially with electronic music, and that's what makes it, part of the reason why it makes it so unique and incredible of a record. But it is also a barrier to get into for casual listeners. But if you are struggling to get into this record, definitely listen to it multiple times because it is so, so good, and it is so worth it when you do finally click with it. The song, in particular, How to Disappear Completely, is probably the most beautiful song I've ever heard. It is such an amazing experience. Like, I can't even put it into words how great that song is. And when you relate to the lyrics a little bit, it hits even harder. So there's the recreation of the Kid A cover, of course, and then this is the book edition. So you can get the remastered vinyl, but this book edition in particular is the one that is out of print, I believe, out of circulation. So there's the first page of this book, and then you have the first record there. It comes with 3 records. And then I'll just show you a couple pages. Basically, you have all the artwork from the original release, whether it be on CD or vinyl, and they've put it into this really cool, glossy book style of presentation. So there's a look at some of the Kid A artwork, and then you flip it around, and you can get a look at some of the Amnesiac artwork. That ended up being the cover, I believe, of the live album they put out right after Amnesiac called I Might Be Wrong, which I also have. A really cool record. There's another look. So yes, this is a really cool box set release. And then I will show you one of the albums here. I believe, if I remember correctly, they are all the same color. They're a cream colored vinyl. So here is the Kid A remaster. This is very similar to what they did with OK Computer a couple years ago. I unfortunately did not get that one. That one was released at a time when I was still in college and I was very poor, so I couldn't afford it at the time. But I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get that one, but this one is really awesome. It's making up for it. And then I will see real quick if these other records are the same. I believe they are. They come with different colored inner sleeves. Oh, and you do have credits on the inner sleeves. Yeah, that one is cream color. And then one more, which is a black inner sleeve. Also on a cream colored vinyl. So, I was looking through my Discogs page before I made this video, and this is going for crazy money right now, this particular release. I think the median sale price was $150 or something like that. It's crazy. I think retail, I want to say it was like $70, something along those lines. It wasn't cheap, but it's definitely a very high quality release and something I'm incredibly happy to have in my collection. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, especially those of you who have been kind of waiting on me to make a music video in such a long time. I want to kind of get back to this. Like I said, I want to rediscover my love for vinyl, and I definitely would really enjoy exploring my collection quite a bit, because I have a lot of records that I just haven't listened to in such a long time, so I definitely want to get back to it. I hope you all have an amazing night. See you later. Real quick, messed up one more thing. I knew I couldn't put this video together without messing up so many things. There are two singles that come with the Father John Misty release that I forgot to show you. So they come with these two records, 7-inch records. You have Buddy's Rendezvous, which was a cover by Lana Del Rey. So you have two artists that have covered Father John Misty's songs here. And then the B-side to this is an instrumental version of the Chloe, the opening track from the record. And these are just on black vinyl. He's kind of recreated the RCA label, the classic RCA label, which is pretty cool. And then the other one is Kiss Me, I Loved You by Jack Cruz, which, there's an interesting quick side story with this. So David Lynch, who was one of my favorite filmmakers, he put out a weird short film on Netflix like 2 years ago or so, where he interrogated a monkey. And that monkey is this monkey, named Jack Cruz. And David Lynch puts out records on occasion, and they're definitely weird, they're experimental, just like his films. And one of those records features this monkey. And basically, from what I can gather, David Lynch is singing, pretending to be this monkey. So you have David Lynch in monkey form covering Father John Misty. A very strange and unique situation, but I highly recommend looking this up on YouTube if you get a chance. It's kind of humorous, it's very unique and different. And Father John Misty said in concert clips that David Lynch was actually kind of an inspiration behind this album, which I just find really cool because I've discovered my love for his films recently. So yeah, I apologize, I forgot about these. Just kind of added it in at the end of the video. Again, I hope you all have an amazing night, and I will catch you later.
Oh, I bet you knew it too. How else could we stay standing all those nights dream landing? Ooh, only a fool would understand.